For all those who know this channel, it's all about the up vibe. It's about the positivity, the support, the love. But undoubtedly, you're going to make mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes. The other day I said to my wife, honey, embrace your mistakes. So she hugged me. Hi, my name is Jay Catalano, and today we're going to talk about the 8 mistakes you might make while making concrete candle jars. Let's get started. The type of cement to use. If you're just starting out, you're probably confused at what type of cement to use. You're trying every cement under the sun. Quikrete, Portland cement, Sacrete, Cementol. You're going crazy. Maybe you've even tried them all, but it's a little overwhelming. However, if you have access to Cementol, it's all encompassing. It's as easy as pouring the cement, adding the water, stirring it, putting it into your silicone mold, and voila, you have yourself a solid concrete vessel for candles. It's that easy. And don't worry, if you don't have access to Cementol, I have links at the end of this video that's gonna help you create these awesome concrete jars without it. Let's move on. You know what's not a mistake? If you think this video is inspirational, creative, educational, with a little bit of entertainment, please hit that like button. It would really help me out a lot. Thanks. Eyeballing. Many people start out this process by eyeballing their formula. I did, you're gonna do it. Oh, I'm so confused. I add some cement and then I add water to make it like a pancake. Why am I adding it like a pancake? Who wants concrete pancakes? Unless you're a seasoned professional, eyeballing isn't prudent. You take 4 parts Cementol to 1 part water, mix it together, and you've got yourself a vessel. Okay, I understand that 4 parts of something and 1 part of something else might not make any sense. So let me explain it like this. I know that this jar took 380 grams of Cementol and 95 grams of water. What is 4 times 95? 380. So the 4 parts is the 380 grams of Cementol. The 1 part, which is the 95, is the 1 part of water. 4 parts of Cementol, 1 part of water, mix it together, no mistakes, no eyeballing. You're done. Let's move on. Wasting. You're going to waste cement and even supplies if you don't write down your formula or buy the right materials to eventually minimize your mistakes. As I said in the last section, eyeballing isn't prudent. You end up wasting a lot of product by not knowing exactly what goes into each silicone mold. How do you know how much product to use? Well, you start with a certain amount and you add or subtract from there. For example, this is a 3-inch by 3-inch vessel. It takes approximately 280 grams of Cementol. If it were a 4-inch vessel, I would add 100 grams to my formula and then add or subtract from there. If it were a 2-inch vessel, I would do the reverse until I came up with my magic number. But we don't just waste cement. We waste supplies. We waste cups, water, paper towels, coloring products, and gas to drive all the way to where you had to buy those products in the first place. And guess what you just wasted a lot of? You guessed it. Your time. So I highly suggest you get your own reusable supplies and get extra, because you never know if something happens, and get your formula on a piece of paper so you can have proven, repeatable results each and every time. Don't worry, at the end of this video, I'll share some of the supplies I use to help you on your journey as well. Let's move on. Bubbles or holes in your concrete vessel. Bubbles or holes in your concrete vessels are frustrating, but for the most part, an easy fix. If you're not tapping your mold or picking it up and putting it down, then undoubtedly you're gonna get bubbles or holes in your vessel. If you wanna get real fancy, you can get a vibrating machine which will do the work for you. It's not necessary, but it's helpful. And just so you know, there's no way to 100% ensure that you're not gonna get the occasional bubble or 2 or 5 in your concrete jar. You have to mix your mixture very well and make sure you have no chunks or no pieces left in your bowl, and then you tap your mold, vibrate your mold, or drop it up and down, and then let the rest fall into place. Let's keep going. Adding the wrong amount of color to your mixture. Adding the wrong amount of color to your mixture is usually going to weaken your vessel, which will lead to your concrete jar breaking apart when you demold it, or cracking or breaking down the line. So how much color should you use in your mixture? So for the most part, 3 to 5% 5% is the maximum load you can add to your mixture before you start to weaken the vessel. Okay, Jay, but I don't understand the math. Don't worry, I got you. Do you remember up above, I said that this concrete vessel has 380 grams of cemento and 95 grams of water? Well, let's take the 380 grams and add the maximum load of 5%. 380 grams times 5% equals 19 grams. That means if I'm gonna add color to my candle jars in the future, I can only add up to 19% of that color into my mixture. Anything more than that, I'm going to start to weaken the vessel. But what if you don't achieve the color you're looking for by adding the maximum load? Then you should paint your vessel. That way you can get the color that you were looking for. Let's move on. Let your vessel cure properly. Now that you have your formula down, you've minimized your waste and demolded your vessel successfully, it's time to let your concrete vessel cure. What the frustration does that mean? Curing is defined as providing adequate moisture, temperature, and time to allow the concrete to achieve the desired properties for its intended use. Basically, it means you should allow your concrete enough time to reach the point where it's ready to be used for the purpose that you wanted to use it for. Think of it like a newborn baby. You need to give that baby time to grow up and mature to become an adult. Your vessel is somewhat similar. The difference is you don't have to wait 18 years for it to grow up like a child where you have to take it to soccer class and baseball practice, and now I need to go here, Daddy, and can I have a play date? And Dad, can I have $10 and I need the new iPhone 12 because I'm an awesome. Okay, so how long do you have to let your vessel cure? I ran a daily test immediately after demolding one of my concrete vessels, and I weighed it every day to see how much it weighed, and found that after day 3, my concrete vessel maintained its weight. It usually takes 30 days for concrete to cure, but you don't have to wait that long. Anywhere from 24 to 72 hours should be good. However, you need to run your own tests to see how much it weighs and at what point can you actually move on to the next step. But we'll talk about testing later. Let's move on. Sealants. Sealants are an important topic and quite a confusing one too. Which sealant can I use? When can I seal my vessel? There are many mistakes, and unfortunately, I even see seasoned professionals making errors. Now, I'm not trying to say I'm better than anyone else, but I have contacted 15 different sealant companies to speak directly to either an engineer, a representative, or the owner of the company. Now, it wouldn't be such a bad idea for you to contact one of the sealant companies on your own, just to see if it's something that you could use for your purposes. Now, I use Earth Safe Finishes, which is a very safe product that has no toxicity, no VOCs, and is very safe. And I spoke to Nancy directly, who's the owner of Earth Safe Finishes and the creator, and she gave me the necessary information I need so that I could feel secure to put her product on my concrete candle jar. Okay, now, do you remember when we talked about curing before? If you aren't letting your concrete vessel cure properly, you could experience bubbling or flaking, which usually happens because the concrete hasn't cured properly. If you've ever seen concrete under a microscope, you'll see it looks like a sponge. And all of those minerals and salts and moisture are pushing their way out as it cures. If there's water still inside and you seal it, essentially there's water trapped inside your concrete. That water is going to want to escape. Now, that might not be an immediate problem, but once you add hot wax or change the temperature of the vessel, pressure from the heat causes that trapped moisture to push its way out, which will then cause bubbling or flaking. Let's move on. Not testing. Now, one of the biggest mistakes we all make is that we're in a rush to get to the finish line. We want to get our concrete vessel cured and put the wax inside and make a candle and sell it at our local store and make hundreds of millions of dollars every single day. That's not how it works. You actually have to test your concrete vessel, because even though you did everything right, there still might be some things that you change or add along the way. Now, that doesn't mean you can't start to get ready to sell your awesome products to the world, but it does mean that even though you followed all the rules, there might need to be some tweaking that happens along the way. All right, take a look at the links in the description below, and take a look at these videos that are popping up right now. They're gonna help you make awesome concrete candle jars too. Until next time, thanks for watching. Ciao.